Darkness encompassed everything. Everything save for a small candlelight that could, for all the help it gave, be a mile away. The light increased in intensity and size until it became blinding, filling the small room, which from further investigation turned out to be a doctor's laboratory cum sleeping quarters. As his eyes slowly adjusted to the room's illumination, which seemed to dim, adequately illuminating the surrounding area, his shadow began to extend until it was 3 times the length of his body. An unusual event, given the source of the light, a small oil lamp on the wall. A light and somewhat scratchy whispering sound filled the room and his head, radiating through his body and into his soul. He began to make out words within the scratching sounds, and as he did so, they rose to a cacophonous white noise. White noise with no specific sounds, but teeming with thoughts, feelings, sensations of rage, distrust, and deepest dark desire for something long lost. As he tried to pull together his mind, to sort between his own thoughts and those belonging to the other, his eyes became drawn to his shadow on the wall. Oddly, it had lost its angular upwards bend where the floor met the wall at a right angle. The overall shape had become clearer and more defined. It fully formed into a black spectral figure of his own height and build before his very eyes. He had been dreaming, but he was unsure if this was happening for real or not. The figure before him had no features, save for 2 glowing red eyes, as if lit by the fires of some long-forgotten dimension of chaos. Suddenly the manifestation screamed at Dieter with a voice like dry leaves being blown by the lightest of winter breezes, and so much more. Its spectral finger pointed at him in accusation. At once, as if on cue, the room began to transform around him. No longer was he standing in the house. He found himself in the center of a large circular roofless auditorium, surrounded on all sides by massive pillars that seemed to stretch all the way into the heavens. Massive, stained glass windows depicting key moments in history were set upon the walls at evenly spaced intervals, showing between the pillars. He could feel some presence watching him from all around, like an audience of expectation in all directions. He felt just like a slave awaiting his fate in a gladiatorial arena. He could see no door out of the area. The floor was made of a smooth marble. The clouds were close, as if he were high up, away from anything, higher even than the uppermost mountain peak in existence. He felt so unworthy, so small. He hated that feeling and hated whoever had brought him here for making him feel that way. Suddenly, it seemed as if the pillars began to transform. Their shapes were becoming definable, recognizable even. They were becoming statues of people. No, not people, he realized. Gods! He looked around him and recognized the gods set into the stone. Their stern, unmoving features were somewhat like those he had seen in the books of religious study. Yet they were a little different too, he thought. If this was his imagination, surely he would have seen them in the way he'd recognized them. None the less, he saw the appearing forms of Shalia, Verena, Mor, and one he did not recognize. He could feel that the others were present, but they had not shown themselves yet. The goddess Verena, a woman of dignified, serious disposition, carried a sword in one hand, and held a pair of scales in the other, was first to speak, although her lips did not move.
Dieter Diaz, you have been summoned here to answer for your crimes, those that you have committed against nature, against Moore himself.
Dieter was in resignation. His body slumped in defeat before the statuesque apparitions before him. It must be night. He'd overslept. Damn, he thought. Moore's gaze was upon him. He was a tall man with an aristocratic air about him, and a darkness was visible in his eyes. Though a statue, he could feel the piercing intent of harm from the god as he spoke.
You stole him from me. He belongs to me. As must you all in time.
Dieter staggered as the voice boomed out aggressively at him with a supremacy that threw him off balance. He realized that the shadowy form connected to him had tethered him in place, binding Dieter at his feet where his body met the dark humanoid shape. Moore continued.
By the rights of justice, I demand to take this one's soul, and the one he keeps from me.
The glorious statue form of Shalia, whose eyes were large and caring, set into an innocent face with several teardrops depicted running down her cheek, interrupted.
And by those same rights we are here to decide this one's fate. You of all people should know of fate, Father, showing it in dreams to your most worthy of followers.
Well, and me, Dieter said quietly, but not quietly enough. Moore's tolerance was strained to its limits as he snapped.
You only see those things because of the embodiment of your sins, of that which you restrain unto your flesh, of that which is unnatural, against the law of nature. Your very existence is an aberration to the order of balance.
Verena spoke.
It is not your place to decide on judgment, husband, regardless of how foolishly he chooses his words.
Dieter did not dare speak his mind. After the last time, he kept his thoughts internal. Oh, great. A lover's tiff and a problem child. That's all I need.